The year 2023 is ending soon, so I thought I should do a video where I rank or say which e-readers I use and which e-readers I don't use anymore. That said, I will also talk about which e-reader I will use in 2024. So let's go to my table cam to see my different e-readers. So here we have my different e-readers on my table. As you can see, there is a lot of them actually, but actually it's only one of these I use every day nowadays. Let's start by talking about this Storytel e-reader. This is a specific e-reader for a Storytel account you need to have a subscription at. With a Storytel account you get all the books that is available in the Storytel service for free, reading as much as you want on this e-reader. You can also listen to the audiobooks that are available in the Storytel service. But this e-reader was so terrible in the construction, the user interface, the feeling of the buttons, as you can see here, and everything in the build quality is so bad with this one. So I thought, why should I pay so much money every month to be forced to read the books on this terrible e-reader? The only way to use a Storytel account is on this Storytel e-reader or with a Android-based e-reader like Onyx Books e-readers, for example, because on the Onyx Books e-readers you can install the Storytel app from the Google Play Store and use that app on the Books e-reader. But the app for Android and iOS for the Storytel account is not good at all. It has very few features, so it's not worth using a Storytel account on a Books e-reader. It's definitely not worth it. So I quit the Storytel account I had because I thought it's better to buy the books I want to read, and then if I buy a book I could read my books on any e-reader I want. Because I own the book, I can actually transfer it to any of these e-readers. Here in Sweden we usually buy our ebooks on, for example, bokus.com, adlibris.com, or maybe bokon.se. So you can buy your ebooks and you can download them without any DRM protection. They're usually just watermarked with your account that you bought it from, but you can use those books on any e-reader you want without DRM protection. So I decided to start buying my books that I want to read instead, so I can read them on all my devices or any device I want to read at. So the Storytel e-reader is not an e-reader I can recommend because it's so terrible build quality, and some comments I had on my YouTube channel says that Storytel has stopped selling these two. I don't know if that's true or not, but I would not recommend buying this because the build quality is too bad and the experience with it is too bad. So it's not worth it. So we can put this aside. I will not recommend it. It's not a great e-reader and I will not use it in 2024. I'm sure of that. So we put that aside. The next e-reader I will not use anymore is actually a Kobo. This time the Kobo Libra H2O. This e-reader I cannot recommend either because I don't like the design of e-readers like this one, and also the Libra 2 and the Kobo Sage, and also actually the Kindle Oasis. and the Kindle Scribe that you have some physical buttons on the side of the e-reader. I don't like that design. It's very awkward to hold it and read the books with physical buttons. I prefer to have e-readers that has touch only and no physical buttons. So I don't like personally these kinds of e-readers because it's very awkward. Every time you want to switch to your other hand, you need to turn it upside down and have it like this to read. And when you want to read with your right hand again, you need to have it like this. It's very awkward instead of just having this and switch between the hands very easily and swipe left and right and so on. Tap whatever you need to have your tapping zones and so on. It's much more user-friendly to have an e-reader with only touch and without physical buttons. And I don't like the aspect ratio of this. It's too big to have always with you. It's too big to hold comfortably in your hands or on your knee or in the sofa when reading or in a chair or whatever. It's too awkward to hold these kinds of e-readers with this design. So I can't recommend buying an e-reader with physical buttons. And physical buttons also makes the experience a bit worse because it feels more like you have a tablet or an electronic device. Yes, this is an electronic device and this too, but if you have only touch, reading a book on a e-reader with only touch, it feels more like you touching the content more. You have the text nearer you and you feel the text, the book more as a physical book than an e-book, not with a device with physical buttons. So I will not continue using the Kobo Libra H2O or a Libra 2 or a Sage eBook reader because of this format, this aspect ratio, these physical buttons. I don't like that. So this is not a device I can recommend, and I will not use it in 2024 either. So we can remove that from these different e-readers. So now we have only 3 e-readers left. We have a Kindle Basic, we have a Kobo Clara 2E, and we have a Kindle Paperwhite. These are the 3 best e-readers I have used in 2023. And let's start with the Paperwhite. The Kindle Paperwhite is an excellent e-reader in any ways. I mean, the build quality is perfect, the feel in your hand, the weight of it, and everything is excellent with a Kindle Paperwhite. It's so awesome to hold, and the experience with reading is also awesome, and everything with this is actually perfect for reading. But what I don't like when Kindle e-readers, any Kindle e-reader, is that it's not made for my country, my language. It's not made for Swedish. You have everything in the operating system in English, for example. You can't choose Swedish. The only thing you can choose actually is a Swedish keyboard. Fortunately, that's the only thing you can choose. You can't have a Swedish dictionary. Yes, you can sideload a dictionary. I will show you that in a later video in 2024. But with the built-in dictionaries, you can't use any Swedish. You can't search for Swedish words. You can't look up Swedish words in Wikipedia. You can't do anything with Swedish words, actually. So, reading Swedish books on a Kindle device is not good at all, actually. So, you can only read and you can't do so much more with the content on a Kindle device. But as I said, one of the best, if not the best, e-reader you can buy when it comes to build quality, user experience, smoothness. Everything is so fast and smooth, and everything is just perfect. So I think this could be the perfect device for many, especially for English-speaking users. This will be perfect device for those. And the size for reading is actually very, very good. I like 7-inch displays. But for me, this is actually too big to have always with you. I need an e-reader that I can have in my pocket. I can have it at work. I can have it everywhere I go, even on the toilet. I can have it instead of a smartphone, instead of my iPhone, actually. Because when I bought let's switch to the face cam again. When I bought the Apple Watch Ultra 2, this watch replaced my iPhone nearly for everything I do on an iPhone. I can use it for making calls, I can answer calls, I can send SMSs, I can reply to emails, I can do whatever I want to do without using my iPhone. I actually don't even need to have an iPhone with me because I only use the Apple Watch Ultra 2 now for those kinds of features. Mostly I do so. Sometimes it could be more convenient to have my iPhone, yes, but I don't need to have my iPhone with me everywhere I go. So for example at home, it could still be at the side of my bed, for example, all day, but because I don't need it. So when I go, for example, to the toilet or whatever, I have my e-reader with me instead. So that's why I think the size of the Kindle Paperwhite is a tiny bit too big for that kind of stuff. So this is not my daily driver either. It's not so bad, so I will still maybe eventually use it a few times next year in 2024. So it will still be up here, but not my prioritized device. It's not my first device, not my daily driver. Then we have 2 e-readers left. We have my recently bought Kindle Basic here. And the Kindle Basic is a 6-inch device with a perfect form factor, very easy to hold in your hand, and it's very light and excellent to read on. You have the touch feeling of the text, you swipe left and right and so on to switch pages, and it's so easy to hold. It has an excellent sleep cover, unfortunately not with a built-in stand, or you can't use it as a pop socket or nothing. That's a bit bad with this sleep cover though, but it's a nice cover, and textile design of it feels quite good in your hand too when holding it. So it's an excellent sized device. and it's very easy to have always with you wherever you go. You can easily replace my iPhone because I have my Apple Watch Ultra 2, as I said. So this can easily replace an iPhone in my pocket. That's what's matter for me. I can have this instead of an iPhone in my pocket, in the same pocket I had my iPhone before. So what's the problem then? Well, I will not use this as my daily driver because the same thing as with the Paperwhite. You don't have any Swedish UI elements, you don't have any dictionary in Swedish. So when reading Swedish books, you don't have any dictionaries, you can't do any highlights, you can't for Swedish words, you can't do any lookups for Swedish words and so on. So that is the reason why I can't use this as my daily driver in 2024. But I can still recommend this form factor, this e-reader, because it's an excellent, awesome e-reader in any way. So if you are an English-speaking user, then buy this. It's a perfect size, everything is great, build quality, speed, user experience, everything is awesome. No question about it. It's the best e-reader you can buy if you want to have a small e-reader that you can have always with you. It's the best e-reader you can buy if you're an English speaking user that uses English books only and no other language. So this will not be a device that will be completely erased for my usage, but it will still not be my daily driver. So it will be in this category of devices. I will still use them a while, sometimes, maybe a few times for the coming years. So I will have these two as my still best e-readers for 2023 and maybe also for 2024. So now it only comes down to one device here, and that is my beloved Kobo Clara 2E. It's the winner for me. It's the winner device for 2023, and it will be my daily driver for 2024. What I know of, at least, because I have no plans for another e-reader in 2024. This is an excellent e-reader. It has a Swedish UI element. It has dictionaries for Swedish and many, many more languages. And you have many more languages for the UI. And it has a built-in store, a bookstore with Swedish books you can buy immediately directly from the store and read them on this Kobo Clara 2E e-reader. And you can also borrow books from the library in Swedish and read them on this device very easily. And it has an excellent sleep cover that you can use as a stand like this, or use it as a pop socket. That makes it very easy to hold it when reading. I use this all the time. It's so easy to hold this device when reading, as you can see. I use it as a pop socket in both hands. It's very easy to read with this sleep cover. It's very, very smart. Kobo has really nailed it when it comes to the design of a sleep cover. It's so convenient to have this sleep cover. The only drawback with this cover on is that the device, the e-reader, gets quite heavy though. Much more heavier than the Kindle Basic. At least it feels like it. It's more heavy. But that's doesn't matter because the sleep cover is so good to have. So I think the sleep cover all the feature you get and the user experience you get is worth it. So using a Kobo Clara 2e without it, I will not recommend, because the backside of this eReader is terrible. The plastic backside on the Kobo Clara 2e is terrible. Feels very annoying when holding it, and it's very slippery. You will drop it a lot of times, so I would very much recommend you to buy this sleep cover instead. It's a need. You must buy this sleep cover for the Kobo Clara 2e. And another, maybe a drawback with this is that it has a sunken display. It's not flushed with the bezels, as you can see, but I think that's a feature actually, because I think the text when reading a book gets more in your face because you are nearer the text. So when reading a book, the text gets nearer. You get the experience of having the text below your fingers when swiping left, right, or tapping, and so on. And you don't have any wireless transfer of books on this as you have on Kindle e-readers. That's a drawback, but I have the experience when using a Kobo. Then you either buy books directly from the Kobo store and have them on your device, or you use Calibre software anyway, and using Calibre software you plug in a cable to your computer when doing some library stuff and so on, and adding books and so on. So I think that is not a drawback that either. Even when I have bought a book from Bokus.com, for example, here in Sweden, I want to have it in my Calibre library first to add some metadata, doing some conversions between different formats. For example, EPUB to KPUB, Kobo's own EPUB format. I do that in Calibre before transferring it to my Kobo Clara 2e. So having just using a cable transferring books is not either a drawback actually. It's even more convenient sometimes because you can transfer faster and do more stuff with the Calibre library software and so on before transferring it to the Kindle. And instead of the Kindle you use a Kobo with a cable. So I think that's not a drawback either actually. And everything here is fast enough, and you don't see much lag. Sometimes I see lag, but that is when, for example, it uses Wi-Fi and do some syncing and so on when reading. Then I can see some lag when swiping left and right, for example. And well, I can add books that I want to read very easily to this, and everything is just fine. And especially the size of it. Yes, it's a tiny bit bigger than the Kobo, the Kindle Basic. It's a tiny bit bigger than that, especially the width of it, as you can see. But and the weight a bit more. But I think this is a perfect device to have instead of my iPhone in my pocket. I have this in my trousers pocket or my bag pocket or whatever, so I can have this instead of my iPhone always with me. So this is my minimal carriage. I carry this Kobo Clara 2e, and I also carry this Ultra Watch, Apple Watch Ultra 2 as my iPhone, for example. So instead of my iPhone I have an Apple Watch Ultra 2, and I have this Kobo Clara 2e always with me, everywhere I go, everywhere I am, so I can read whenever I want, and it's a pleasure to do so, because I can read a paragraph or so wherever I am, in a queue or on the bus. I never drive or using a bus though, but you know what I mean. I can always read whenever I feel for it, because I can have this always with me. So that is the one I use every day. This is my everyday carry, and it's also my highly prioritized e-reader. It's the best e-reader for 2023 in my personal opinion, and it will be my daily driver for 2024. It will be the device I will use most in 2024. So this is the one that I can highly recommend buying. I don't know if Kobo will release a new Clara 2E in 2024. I don't know. Maybe a Clara 3E or something. I don't know. But at the moment, I think this is the e-reader I will recommend everyone to buy with the sleep cover on. So the Kobo Clara 2E with sleep cover is what I recommend for 2023 and the coming year 2024. So that was my prioritizing of my e-readers and what I will use the coming year 2024, and which e-readers I will not use anymore at all, and which e-reader I will use sometimes, maybe a few days next year, or maybe eventually for a longer time, maybe even reading a whole book on one of my other devices. So the 3 devices I will use in 2024 is the Kindle Paperwhite, the Kindle Basic, and the Kobo Clara 2E. But the Kobo Clara 2E will be my daily driver. So please like this video and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, bye.